we're going to change this tip on this pool cue. We're going to clean it up, do a complete on this shaft. We're going to start with cleaning the ferrule. When we glue a new tip on, we want to glue any of the dirt and chalk dust that's on the ferrule, make it permanent by putting crazy glue on top of it. I'm going to face the ferrule off real good. Give the tip a nice flat surface to adhere to. Give it some score marks for some more really good adhesion. I'm going to put a Moori quick tip on here. If you notice, there is a little glue symbol on the side of this Moori tip, which tells you what side to glue to the ferrule. We just want to sand the bottom of that tip. Get some raw leather, and we're going to score the tip in the same fashion that we scored the ferrule in. Just using a razor blade. Now I like to spray a little accelerator on the ferrule to help the glue stick better. I like to use a cyanoacrylate glue. There's a number of different types you can use. They're all sort of the same. I'm going to center that on there pretty good. Tighten it up. Clean some of that glue off. Using a paper towel. Let it dry for a couple of seconds. I like to use an X-Acto knife to trim off the tip. You can use the lathe metal tools if you like, but razor blades are a lot cheaper than cutting tools for your lathe, so this is a much more economical way to trim tips. When I'm trimming a Moori layered tip, I always want to start off with a fresh blade. You want to put your razor blade tight up against the ferrule and just trim away the tip. Take some practice, but you can get really good at telling how much tip is left to trim. You want to get it very perfectly square with the ferrule, and then dig in a little bit. I can feel a little glue ridge there, so I might have to come in and clean that up afterwards. That's the only drawback to using an accelerator, is that glue dries so fast. What I'm trying to do is put a small taper on this tip, so as when it starts getting some play, it's going to mushroom out to be flat again. There's just a little bit of a glue ridge there, so I'm going to clean it up with my razor blade. Before I go any further, I'm going to take some 600 grit sandpaper and just clean up the ferrule on the edge of the tip. Get it nice and smooth. Just getting a little bit more glue that I can still feel there. The next step is to install my tip shaping device. This is something that's available from Unique that I've modified to fit into my Q-Smith lathe. This player, whose cue this is, likes his tip a little flatter than most people, so that's how I've shaped it for him. Now we're just going to clean up my tooling. Give the edge of the tip a nice burnish using some spit and a nice piece of leather. We'll rough up the tip so it accepts chalk real nice. That's how you install a new layered tip on a Q lathe.